Namaste friends, welcome to Learn with J, empowered by Magic Needles. This day I am here with a Granny Square which uses DCs and 3 DC cluster in the corners. Okay, let us go into the video how to go about it. Yesterday in the previous video I have shown how to do 3 DC cluster, and for this demonstration I am using Just Brown Hobby Store Aran 100% premium acrylic anti-pill yarn, which is medium weight 4 and its color is 2015. I am using an H 5mm Clover Amore hook. To begin with, you can either begin with the magic ring or chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Slip stitch and join to the very first chain. And we'll be working over this tail end in the center of this ring formed. So to begin with, pull up the yarn to the little height, insert your hook, twist and insert your hook inside the ring, pick up the yarn, pull through this and behind the twisted. So don't complete this DC, yarn over, again insert, yarn over, pull through 2. Second incomplete DC, again yarn over, insert, third incomplete DC. Now yarn over and pull through all 4 of them. Chain 2 plus 1 3, insert, again make 1 DC cluster, chain 2 now, another DC cluster, chain 3, a DC cluster. So you will have 8 DC clusters, each pair of them separated by 2 chains, and the corners will be separated by 3 chains. Chain 2 now, now the next corner, chain 3, you have done the first corner, second corner, this is the third corner, again another DC cluster, chain 2, its pair, the DC cluster, chain 3, another DC cluster, and join this with a half double crochet. So here you're going to make 2 DC, 1, 2 DC, chain 2, In the chain 3 space, you're going to make a DC cluster, chain 3 and a DC cluster. So the beginners can place stitch markers in the corners. Chain 2, 3 DC under chain 2 space, chain 2, again a DC cluster, 3 DC, another DC cluster, all in the same space under chain 3. 1, 2, 3 corners will have DC cluster, 3 DC, the DC cluster. The DC cluster is made up of 3 DCs. 3 DC clusters are made. Chain 2, 3 DC are in chain 2 space. Again we are in the corner, chain 2 and go to the corner, DC cluster, chain 3, a DC cluster, chain 2, 3 DC, the last corner, chain 2, three chains and 3 DC cluster. Chain 2 and place 1 DC. We had started with 2 DC under chain 2. Place the last DC here. And you can slip stitch and join. You can either do the normal way or the pick up under this loop, insert your hook, pull this, pick up this loop and pull it through behind that so that the join is invisible. Now you are going to place 1 DC on each of the DCs. The first DC, you can do chain 3 instead if you are not comfortable with making the standing DC. The second DC here, under chain 2 space you need to make 2 DCs, 2 double crochets. So only in the corners you have chain 2 space before going to the chain 3 corner, separating the DCs and the cluster. Chain 2 space separates the DCs and the cluster. So now chain 2, make 3 DC cluster, chain 3, 3 DC cluster under chain 3 space. That is the corner. So we have done the first corner here, chain 2. So we are next in the chain 2 space here. Make 2 double crochets. 1 DC each on each of these DCs. Again 2 double crochets. So every side number of DCs will increase by 4 in each round. The corner is always the same. After chaining 2, go to the corner, you make 3 DC cluster, chain 3, 3 DC cluster. Again chain 2, 2 DCs, 1 DC each on these 3 DCs, again 2 DCs, chain 2, come to the corner. So complete this round. I shall meet you at the beginning here. I have completed this round and come to the beginning of the round here. So need to slip stitch and join. So pull it up a little high, remove the hook and insert a hook from behind the top V of the very first stitch DC we did, or the third chain of the 3 chain, the beginning 3 chain. And again this is how it is continued. You are placing DC on all the DCs. First DC 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 DCs under chain 2 space, chain 2 and go to the corner. So you will have chain 2 space in the corners. Every corner will have 2 chain 2 spaces, one at this end and one at this end. So here again chain 2 space, and in, so you will have totally 8 chain 2 spaces in the round. Every round after round you will have only 8 numbers of chain 2 spaces and 4 number of chain 3 spaces, which are the corners. These chain 3 spaces are separated by 3 DC clusters. So that is the repeat here. So DC on DC, 2 DCs under chain 2 space. Then in the corners you have cluster, 3 DC cluster. Again chain 2 and go over to the other stitches. So I will finish few more rounds and get back to you. I have completed 2 more rounds and now I have 15 DCs on each side. You can make it as big as you want. There is a difference in the last round. The last round we are going to place 1 DC each on each of the DCs, 2 DCs under chain 2 space, 3 DCs, chain 3, 3 DCs in the corner instead of the puffs, and there is no chain 2 space when you go over to the corner here. So begin making a, either start with a chain 3 or a DC. I always prefer to start with my double crochet here. That looks neat and nice. So place 1 DC each on each of the DCs. Two DC under chain 2 space. And there is no chain 2 space to go over to the corner. We are going to make 3 double crochets. We are not making a cluster. Chain 3, 3 double crochets again under the same space. No chain space to go over to the next stitch. You here under this chain 2 space make 2 double crochets. So the last round will not have any chain 2 spaces. That is, before going to the corner we were making chain 2 spaces. After the corner we were making chain 2 spaces. That is removed here, and we work straight away 3 DC, chain 3, 3 DC in chain 3 space. That is a corner. So continue. I shall meet you when I come to this end here. I have come to the beginning of the round here. So I'm going to fasten off, and before fastening off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this yarn and I'm going to do a different way of and pull this yarn out. So we're going to do seamless join here. So you can either use a tapestry needle or a smaller hook. So you are not going to join in the very first stitch, but you take this yarn in front, insert your hook from behind this second stitch, pull this yarn, and you're going to actually make a V stitch on top. So now you're going to take this yarn under this. So insert your hook from here, pick it up and pull through. If you're using a tapestry needle, you can directly insert here. And now you can hide it. Hide this yarn behind the stitches. So you won't even know where you began and where you are ending. So this is how we make the square. I saw this pattern somewhere in some encyclopedia or dictionary. I don't remember where exactly, long years ago. And from my memory, I have demonstrated this for you all. Thank you, friends. I have named it as, I think, corner cluster square. So you can name it anything that comes to your mind. I don't know its original name. Once again, thank you for watching this video. Have a great day and enjoy many more videos that are yet to come. Bye friends for now.